Finding the right bike seems to be getting harder and harder these days, with all the options available out there. I only found what I was looking for 6 months before the start of our Grand Tour. Comfort and off-road capability were top priorities. I wanted to be out and about in nature, away from traffic, and for as long as possible without any major pains. The Salsa Fargo was right from the beginning high up in the list. It can be a touring bike or a mountain bike. It most certainly is a bike which can do almost anything. I've now ridden over 9,000 kilometers with the Salsa Fargo, and here's my conclusion. In the core, the Fargo is a rigid drop bar mountain bike made out of steel with a carbon fork. It's a pretty versatile bike. You can run it single speed, configure it with a roll-off and carbon belt combo thanks to the backstay split, or just go with a 1x12 setup, which I was going for. It has several mounting options. You get one on the down tube, two in the frame triangle, those for the rear rack, and on the fork you even get 12 eyelets, allowing you to mount 4 anything cages in total. The fork also has mounts for a front rack and even a cable channel for the dynamo hub. The high stack and short reach values of the frame lean more towards an upright position, and it also has massive tire clearance, which allowed me to run 2.6-inch tires, which again ties directly to the idea of comfort and off-road capability. In case you're wondering, this is a large size frame, and I'm 183 centimeters tall with an inseam length of 88 centimeters. Now for the wheelset. I chose to run with a DT Swiss 350 rear hub due to the fact that you can get off the cassette without any tools in case a spoke on the cassette side would break. It's just a plug-and-play system and allows for easy maintenance. Also, DT Swiss hubs are known for their durability and of course the beautiful free-up sound the ratchet system creates. There's a SON dynamo hub on the front to produce electricity while cycling, which goes directly into a cache battery. The name of the cache battery is a Forumslader. It has a 28 watt-hours battery and a 15 watt USB-A outlet that covers one full smartphone charging. For the spokes I went with a Sapim Race, and the rims are WTB Com Tough with an inner width of 35 millimeters. They match pretty well with 2.6 or 2.8 inch tires. Speaking of tires, these are the Vittoria Mescals 29er by 2.6 inch in the width. Yeah, really good tires for mixed terrain, whether it's tarmac or gravel, but also fast rolling due to the almost continuous thread in the middle of the tire. In the past I had Schwalbe Nobinix. These tires were great as well. In hindsight I think the Mescals were just a little bit more suitable for mixed terrain. In cycling such a huge distance you often find yourself more than you like on tarmac. And there the fast rolling capabilities of the Mescals came in really handy. So it's a noticeable difference. Also, these wheels are built by yours truly, and I would highly recommend you to do as well. Just to know what to do when shit hits the fan and spoke breaks. To know which spoke length you should take as spares and so on. A quick tip on the side, I have my spare spokes stored in the seat post. By cramping some foam from the hardware store with a zip tie. Works perfectly. The wheelset is configured tubeless, and not both of us had any flats. Within 1 year there were only 2 times I noticed the sealant working. One was in Croatia at a beach with thorns everywhere. Plucked one thorn out, a white bubble came on the surface and it was sealed. So simple. And the other one was in Kazakhstan on a rocky trail to a wild camping spot. This one was a small cut, but again the sealant took care of it. The first 2 things I recommend to anyone who wants to do a bigger tour: big tires for comfort and when the terrain gets rough, and a tubeless setup for comfort and when the terrain gets rough. I went with a SRAM GX Eagle 1x12 setup, which has a massive range of 10 to 52 on the cassette. On the front I ran a 30 teeth oval chainring from Wolftooth. Honestly, the 30 to 52 combination allowed me to climb pretty much anything. And the oval shape of the chainring helped me to keep traction on steeper climbs with loose gravel. Yeah, it's basically a lightweight yet robust gearing setup. And the SRAM GX Eagle lineup has just a nice value. You get a lot for your money. For the brakes I use the ones that just came with the bike. TRP Spike C mechanical disc brakes with 160mm rotors back and front. They are simple and easy to maintain, nothing special about them. Had to swap out the braking pads once, but so far so good. A nice upgrade would be bigger rotors, like 180mm, and maybe hydraulic ones. But then again, you lose the simplicity and ease of repairing them. The saddle is a highly individual choice, and here I can only speak for myself. It's a Brooks B17 carved. It broke in quite quickly, like after 500 kilometers. But still, to this day, my ass and this saddle is did not become very good friends. Especially on longer days, like above 80 kilometers or so, I started to move and adjust while riding and had to wear bike shorts. So in the future I will probably change the saddle. Pedals are the 1UP composite flat pedals. I used flat pedals just for ease of use, to ride in sandals in the summer, get on and off the bike quickly. It's just more convenient when touring. For the cockpit I have a 90mm stem. Mounted on that is a quad-lock mount for the smartphone navigation. The handlebar is a Jones H-bar, very versatile, many grip options and a nice 45-degree back sweep. Again, it's mostly about comfort while bikepacking such distances. The grips are ESI Extra Chunky grips. They are basically foam grips. I liked them a lot. They didn't feel sticky when it rained and they also didn't soak up that much. When it comes to bikepacking bags, I like the harness approach. It's modular, more versatile and easier to get on and off the bike. And when something fails, it's just a matter of getting a new dry bag. Speaking of dry bags, the more waterproofs you have, the better it is. Just to have peace in mind when the heaven opens and it starts to rain cannot be overestimated. Let's start with the big three: the saddlebag, frame bag and handlebar bag. As saddlebag I use a harness system with a dry bag. It's from Revelate Designs, called Terrapin, and has a capacity of 14 liters. There I have all my sleeping stuff. When it comes to setting up camp, I just need to pull out the dry bag and have everything I need for a good night in the outdoors. Moving on to the frame bag, it's the Revelate Designs Ranger Frame Bag XL. and packs a whopping 10 liters. I think the highlight of this frame bag is the zipper construction. It has this elastic support material on the side, which relieves stress on the zipper. Never had any problems with this bag, and it packs a ton. I usually have bulky items in there, like spare tire, tent poles, but mostly food. Keep in mind though that this bag is not fully waterproof due to the mentioned zipper construction, but in my experience water only came in when the bike was laying on the ground whilst it rained. Now to the handlebar bag. I used the Revelate Designs harness in combination with a sturdy double side load dry bag from Salsa. This dry bag packs 13 liters and has shown to be waterproof no matter how hard it rained. Also the two entry points come in really handy. I, for example, had my down puffy jacket on the left end and my rain jacket on the right end, ready to access in a moment's notice. On top of that, I had a small accessory bag, the Egress, also from Revelate Designs. There I had very important stuff like credit cards, IDs, camera and so on. When we arrived at an accommodation, and this is maybe a nice tip for you, I packed all my things in a way that it was only a matter of undoing the front roll from the handlebar harness and the accessory bag. And now I had everything I needed for staying in a hostel or warm showers host, for example, and I wouldn't touch the other bags at all. So the tip here is to have a packing system that allows you to undo just 1 or 2 bags and have everything you need for, again, a hostel stay or even a hotel. Sadly, the Salsa Fargo does not have top tube bolts for a bag, but I kind of hacked this with some pipe clamps and inner tube. These are the King Cage universal support bolts. The special thing about them is that they are essentially pipe clamps, but then with an integrated brace on. So that combination allows me to use a bolt-on top tube bag, which is the Revelate Designs Mag Tank 2000. And on the back I have a jerrycan top tube bag. On the handlebars I have 2 feed bags where I mostly keep snacks or a bottle of Coke. They are probably my most favorite bags on the bike. Just so handy to use and easy accessible. It's a one-hand operation to open and close them up. They have nets on the side for garbage or sunscreen. Only keep in mind they will soak up when it starts to rain. On the fork I have mounted 4 anything cages for extra storage. There I can recommend the C2 Summit River Dry bags with a capacity of 5 liters each. They have proven to not only be waterproof but also really sturdy. On the down tube is the Clean Canteen 1.9 liter bottle made out of stainless steel, mounted on an additional anything cage. This spot is my favorite to store water, because as you know, water is probably the heaviest thing you will carry, and this spot is ideal for that. It keeps your bike well balanced and center weighted, which plays a huge role in the general ride feeling of the bike. One more tip on that, you can just shorten the straps to fit the bottle. Before that I always found myself finagling the ends of the straps, and with this hack I just saved time and nerves. So if it's always the same size of the bottle or even the dry bag, just cut the straps accordingly. Also on the down tube is a roll top dry bag from Wolftooth, where I have my repair kit stored. Ideally I never touch the bag, because first that means there is no mechanical, and second this dry bag sees a shitload of dirt. As last addition I mounted a water bottle cage to the backstay via electrical tape, and I have to say it's a pretty sturdy mount. 6 months in and the cage never moved, nor did the tape peel off. So that's a hack I can highly recommend. just look for the side to mount the cage, ideally on the right side, so that it does not interfere with laying down the bike. All in all, this setup has taken me very far, and I quite like how it turned out in the end. Would I do something different today? Probably not. Maybe downsize even a bit more to only 2 anything cages on the fork, or switching to bigger hydraulic brakes. Yeah, I think in the end it's a do-it-all bike. You can take it everywhere, configure it to a touring or bikepacking setup, and no matter how long the journey will be, I'm sure you'll find joy in riding this bike. So with that said, I hope you found this video useful, and I hope it helps you in your decision making. In the description I have linked a gear list where you'll find everything I just talked about in more detail. So feel free to check it out. That's all for me today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.